Hi from New Mexico. I can't tell you how much it pains me to make this video here from home instead of being with you all in Spain. My sincere apologies and deepest regrets for not spending this time with you. The ECLIP meeting is absolutely one of the highlights of my year and of my advocacy efforts. So it was really a tough decision. I'll keep this quick because it's, not so interesting to watch a video. But I did want to share with you what's going on with Lou, as well as talk with you all about patient-focused drug development here in the U.S. I think the trend has been growing, and it's getting even stronger here, and I believe that will also continue to be a trend in Europe as well. As you know, the FDA is really encouraging patient-focused development, drug development, so much so that they just this week released a second set of guidelines on how to work with patient advocacy groups and patient communities and really understanding the burden of the disease. And I thought that was particularly relevant for lipodystrophy because we have had challenges recently in getting approval of metroleptin, and then with approval, we've still had a lot of challenges in getting access to it regarding reimbursement. So I wanted to share with you what's happening here and talk about a little bit about what's happening with my advocacy training. I'll keep it brief. I really do think it's important that we as a community improve our patient group research and other stakeholder communications. I think we've gotten a lot better in the past several years, but I'd like to see it improve. I think, though, it's important to know that I do think that the patient should be involved in every part of the process, but by patient, it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing. I think all voices are important, but I don't think they're all equal. So someone who's newly diagnosed should not necessarily be part of a steering committee for a clinical trial, right? They're not experienced enough. However, their diagnosis experience is really valuable. The burden of the disease for them is really valuable. So that would be an important part of the earlier research and really understanding, like maybe patient advisory panel discussions, that kind of thing, where maybe it's the patient leaders like myself, Rebecca Sanders, Naka, and a few others who are more appropriate because we represent the patient voice for the community perspective, not just our own experience. We should be more involved in research planning and steering committees, those kind of things. I understand there's a lot of challenges, and some of you are definitely going to feel like we don't necessarily understand enough of your jobs to be part of it. And we absolutely concede that we don't know everything at all, but we do come to the table with a different perspective. So despite those challenges, I think that it's important to work through them, talk about them, communicate, recognize that there are rules to engagement. We understand that engaging may slow the process a little bit in the front end, but I think in the back end, later on, it's really going to help move a drug maybe from research through to approval faster, because hopefully we help focus on just the right important things. And I've got a slideshow that I'll send to David if he wants to share that. If you're interested, you can do that. There are a lot of benefits for companies, for clinicians, and for the patient community. Really, I think the most important benefit is that we need to better understand the day-to-day burden of the disease and collect data on the burden of the disease as we do all of our research. Really, that's where we're getting so we're really hitting roadblocks now with the FDA and with NICE, because we didn't have that data. And I think that we need that data. to better understand how we can all work together to help improve the lives of those living with lipodystrophy. We'll also be able to improve. There's research that shows it increases adherence to treatment and that improves dropout rate from your studies. There's more positive volunteer feedback. Long-term savings then are great. And I'll show you some numbers, or I'll tell you a number that most recently a research study showed here. Getting to that, it shows that there's $100,000 savings if you spend $100,000 in patient engagement on a study, that price can be saved 500-fold in the back end, because each change in protocol, each adjustment is extremely costly. And then the dropout rate is extremely costly. So there's a huge savings for industry. But really, from a research perspective, you all are spending so much of your careers in research. And so having us be engaged in a more meaningful way is very cost effective for you as well. I'm going to send along a slide that talks about all the ways that we can help in every single area of research. I won't go through that right now. It's just not going to be that interesting from a video perspective, but I'm happy to provide some more resources on that. And then finally, really quickly, I went very quickly, but I wanted to keep it brief. I want to talk with you a little bit about some of the things that Lou has been doing since last October, since you saw us. It has been incredibly important for me to partner with stakeholders here in the US. And a few of the things we've been able to do, we co-coordinated a patient advisory panel for generalized lipodystrophy, and a lot of really valuable information came out of that. And I think it was a very successful advisory panel with a rounded group of participants, because the foundation was involved in coordinating that. And then information was shared with the company, but also that helped me better understand what's happening in generalized lipodystrophy today, right now. We have that continued relationship with this industry partner, and we're involved in reviewing what's materials are being shared with patients for an upcoming clinical trial. And that's incredibly important for me, because I feel like I want our patients, our community, to feel like there's a give and take in this research. And I want them to feel like their participation is meaningful. Maybe not for them today, but that they're able to participate in something that benefits their community in the future. And I think it's really important to have Lipodystrophy United and ECLIP and LDUK and the other organizations involved in these processes to make sure that we really are thinking about what's best for the patient. I partnered with Dr. Oral and the University of Michigan for a Rare Disease Day event. That was really successful. It was successful, I think, for the university, and it was also successful for our community, because we had some more community bonding time and in-person meetups that I think are really valuable in helping us help understand what resources are important. We continue to provide some education and toolkits to the patient community. I have continued some advocacy training and continued to build my relationships here with the greater rare disease community, which helps, because anytime then I need a resource, I have a large resource bank to go to. And then I did start a new relationship with the University of New Mexico, so that I can have some more local resources. And the Mighty is an online site. We created a partnership with them to help spread awareness. And right now I'm working with a mobile health records app that is an international app available in 6 languages that would be free to patients. I'm doing some investigation. So after I do my initial work, I want to send this out to LDUK and ECLIP and get some feedback, and then decide if that's something that we may all want to use. Maybe we just use it here in the US. And then I'm continuing my social media engagement and medical conference awareness so that we can help improve and speed up diagnoses here in the US. Really, I think there's so much more I would like to do. We're still very limited in resources here with Lou, but the goal, I think my main goal is really getting us to work together even more, because I know that adipose tissue research is important, and I know that we can be doing a better job helping meet the needs of our patients. And I think that we've been doing that slowly. I still feel passionate that there's more for us to learn, and I think that working together is the best way to do that. Now, that's easy for me to say, considering I'm still here in New Mexico, not in Spain. So again, I apologize for that. It's have a lot of laughter and tears. Send me summaries, please. I will see you next year. I will make that happen. Know that my health is good. So thank goodness for that. And have a great year. Miss you.